Are private guitar lessons a colossal waste of money and time? They most certainly can be. Let's go over these 3 things to keep an eye out for as you're looking for a teacher wherever you are in your guitar playing journey. If you like the video, hit like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'm always putting up videos to make your guitar playing better. I have been teaching for 20 years, hundreds of guitar players, and I get them past a very particular point, this pentatonic intermediate plateau, so they become fully fretboard fluent. We do that with a 12-week mentorship. What happens at the end of that 12 weeks is you go through the step-by-step plan that I've been honing for 20 years now, and you're done. You're not paying us anymore, right? We have a goal and we get you to that goal efficiently to save time and money. Not having a goal and not having a game plan is the first thing to look out for, right? You, as a student, don't know what you don't know. And as long as you're learning something, you're trusting this instructor to show you the right way, and you're paying for it. So it should be the most efficient way. And that just doesn't happen. Now, even if you're in the sort of beginner phases, and you're learning some AC/DC and some Green Day and some Nirvana, perfectly fine. That's great for motor skills. That's fun, and staying on time, like if you're playing with a song, all of that is great. Learning a little bit of the why as you go along is going to be a lot more effective. So when you get to some of the more advanced topics, you understand some of the theory, right? Some of the musical language of why these guitar players are making these particular choices. And you can start recognizing and picking up these patterns rather than just numbers on a tab, or if you're learning, some scales, just dots on a chord diagram. We should always be learning and not memorizing. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Your progress should be notable week after week. It doesn't have to be massive, but we've had people come to work with us who were just like, yeah, I don't know. I was taking lessons for like a year and a half. And I guess I got kind of better. A year and a half is you should be, especially a private one-on-one instructor, after a year and a half, you should be massively better. If you're putting in the time, right? I don't want to put all this on the teachers. If you're putting in the time, you should be getting better week after week. If you're not, of course, I have taught private students that are just like, hey man, I just want to hang out for a little bit and like play some guitar, that's also totally fine, But if you're putting in the time, you should be learning and constantly pushing yourself, and you need a teacher to show you what that next step is because you don't know yet, right? And you're sort of just trusting them. And having that plan is going to keep you motivated, right? And it's going to be fun, right? Because you're learning what you want to learn, right? So, if somebody comes to us and we're going through the course and we're getting into the modes and, we're learning Dorian, a lot of people will say like, oh, Dorian, yeah, I learned that, but I didn't really know what it was. And I was just sort of supposed to play it up and down. That's not really learning. Music is a language. The guitar is just the voice that we're speaking or singing that language through. So we want to make sure that we're learning and not just memorizing these things. A huge skill for a teacher is to try to remember what it was like to not know the thing that they're teaching, right? That's just a skill all teachers have that is difficult to do. So it's almost like, here's Dorian, and you as a student are like, well, what do I do with it? And they're like, play it. Just like learn it, that is not effective. And it's a huge waste of money, and it's kind of insulting to the student. So, the other thing too, number 2 on this list is, do you like their teaching style? Like, I have a very particular teaching style. If you're in our course, it's very, very, step by step. This course that we've been honing for 20 years, very step by step. We keep you motivated the whole time. We have to make it fun because that's really how you learn, right? It really like sinks into your brain when you're having fun. And my ability to relate the musical language to the guitar. I went to Berkeley for guitar performance when I was in my late teens and early 20s, and then I left and went back and got my songwriting degree. So I really like this idea of communicating something through the guitar. When people see that, they like that, and then they come to me to work with me. Make sure that you like this person's teaching style. You might not like my teaching style at all. You might not like my guitar playing. You might not like my attitude. That is totally fine, but if you are going to take lessons from somebody, make sure that you like their teaching style. And, as we're sort of like talking about like, your cousin's boyfriend's sister's husband, whatever, like, is a guitar player. Should I take lessons with him? I mean, you might like that person, but you might not like their teaching style. Make sure. It's the wonderful thing about the internet is you can research this person. If they are a good teacher, they're going to have a track record. Even if they don't have a huge Instagram page or YouTube channel, that is very helpful, and they should. For them, they're going to be able to find students easier. So for them, they should. But if they don't, they'll have some sort of a track record, if they are a really, really good teacher. So if you've had a good experience or a bad experience, I would love to hear it in the comments below. This sort of goes into this next thing was my personal experience, and what I don't want to have happen to other people was I was really interested in, like Nirvana and Green Day. That's what I wanted to play. And I had a teacher that was just teaching me how to sight read, which is very difficult in the beginning stages of guitar, and only learning jazz, right? And it didn't work. So I didn't retain any of the information, right? And then I left. That was a lot of money wasted, and a lot of time wasted. I wasn't getting any better. Then I found a teacher who, by that time I was playing a little bit more, and getting into like maybe some Guns N' Roses, and some Stevie Ray Vaughan and stuff. And everything that we learned had the why attached to it. This is why they did that. This is why you should do it here. This is how to integrate this into your musical vocabulary. That's what happened to me. I love it because just by chance, I saw a really bad guitar teacher, right, and a really good guitar teacher. And that was so early in my guitar playing. That's what set me up to go to Berklee after that. Now is where I get my teaching inspiration from, was being able to see both of those and be like, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to help people, So, kind of making sure that you are moving along and you have accountability from your teacher, but also your teacher's being accountable and not just showing up and being like, what do you want to learn? What's something cool that you would like to play on the guitar? That's not always that effective. It's great in the beginning, and it's great to kind of keep it like a little bit more fun. More of a personal note, when people come to us, a lot of the things that they say is, man, I don't know if I can get it. I took lessons and it just doesn't seem like I can get it. Listen, if you have an injury that's affecting your motor skills, right? Or you happen to be in the incredibly small percentage of the population that is legitimately tone deaf, you will be able to learn. Now, motor skills, it's like anything else, right? I don't particularly remember this being easy for me when I picked it up, right? But it probably was easier for some other people and probably more difficult for some other people, just based on their motor skills and how they grew up and what they were doing, right? Same with music. Just being a little kid and listening and humming back to the songs before you were even able to speak, right? Versus kind of being a little bit more passive with music sets you up for having a better cognitive attachment to music. So there are levels, but you will be able to learn this. There is no, I can't learn this. And that's what a lot of teachers say. And that is what they say when they are bad teachers. Okay. So, and that's what we get a lot, as well as that idea of oh yeah, I know the pentatonic. It's wow, when did you learn that? It's oh, a year ago. Wow, a year ago. He taught you the pentatonic. This guitar teacher taught you the pentatonic a year ago, and you still don't really know what it is. We get through that in the first half an hour of the first week of our course. So these are, again, I don't want you to fall into a money pit. I am most certainly not knocking anybody's business, or knocking how they teach or their teaching style, because it's just not specific to anybody except for the guitar teacher that I had in the beginning. But nobody knows who that is, so that's totally fine. If you are in this sort of intermediate pentatonic, blocky plateau, and you're not sure how to break free, and you're not really connecting your creativity to what you are able to play, like speaking through the guitar, I would love to help. There's a link below to book a free consultation called to See If You're Right for our 12-week fretboard fluency mentorship. And like I was saying before, you might not be right for this, which means I want you to take what I've said here and go find yourself the most appropriate teacher. You might be right, and the best part too is when we go step by step, boom, 12, you have access to me 7 days a week as part of the course. And after the 12 weeks, but you're not paying, there's no more carrot in the stick. you should be fretboard fluent by the end of that 12 weeks, and then continue on your own. If you're interested, that link is below to book a free call. And I have some more links to some videos that I did recently about expanding your vocabulary on the guitar, your musical vocabulary through the pentatonic, and some things like that if you feel stuck in your guitar soloing journey. Thank you for watching.